is News 6 Tonight.
Hey, welcome to News 6 Tonight. One of my favorite people in the newsroom, Lewis Bolden, is joining us. He is an investigator, incredible journalist, overall great person. Glad to have you at the News 6 Tonight desk tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that. I'm a dayside guy normally, so I'm feeling like I should be in the vicinity of my bed right now. But I've got you.
Not yet. Not yet, unless I put you to sleep here with this news, which I don't think is going to happen today because we have some pretty good stuff. Did you ever think in your career that you would talk so much about raw milk? Have you seen this?
I have seen this.
Business going on?
I have thoughts about this. I have concerns about this.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get to that in just a moment. But a mom is suing a dairy farm in New Smyrna Beach. We've talked about this dairy farm before, Keeley Farms. She says their raw milk products made her sick, caused her to lose a baby while she was pregnant, and got her kid sick. Her name is Rachel Maddox. So let's listen a little bit to her story.
I became very ill, and the sickest I've ever been in my life. I came really close to dying, and our son did die. The doctors told me that I was lucky to be alive.
So very dramatic story here. You feel for this mom. Absolutely. The farm is tied to 21 cases of E. coli. 2 of those cases had severe complications like hers. So this is the interesting part of the story as we head into this as a legal matter. So when you buy this stuff, it clearly is labeled, we're told, that this is not for human consumption. This is for animal consumption. Basically, if you farm calves, you're supposed to use this kind of milk. It is non-pasteurized. So all the safety that is built in there over the years, thanks to, was it Louis Pasteur who created the pasteurization process? A lot of people, they say we're saved when that happened because we drink so much milk. So this mom says she was at a market in Seminole County. She grabbed the bottle and she said, oh, this says it's only for animals. And she claims that the person at that market said, well, that's just kind of what we have to put on there, kind of like a don't worry about it. This is according to her. So now she's suing the farm and the market and everybody involved. And clearly she is impacted by this, but a lot of people are going to watch this story and say, it did say on the bottle that this is not for human consumption. This is for animals. And so.
Absolutely. People are going to say that. And I want to take my time here because this woman was very sick.
Yes.
She miscarried. Her child was sick. She said it was like one of the worst days of her life, seeing her kid being rolled into the ER. So that's awful. But a lawsuit has now been filed. Okay? So unless this lawsuit is settled, lawsuits have to be defended, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that point that you brought up is going to be a big part of their defense. Her attorney is arguing that they should have explained more. The label should have explained more because the label said not for human consumption. Now, most people will argue that's enough.
Right. Yes. Okay? Absolutely.
But her attorney is arguing that they should have explained why it's not for human consumption, that it hadn't been pasteurized and all of those things. But I think the big argument is going to be not for human consumption. I think most people would say, just leave it right there.
I mean, yeah, how if you have rat poison and it says do not consume, does it have to tell you why not to consume it as well? Yeah, it's interesting to see, and it's hard. I hate to hear her story, and I hope everything works out for them in the future. But I would imagine if you're this milk business and you really are just selling to farmers to be able to feed calves, and other people are buying your products that you have clearly labeled, and then someone at a store who has nothing to do with your product. If that,
The flip side of this is she's not the only one who got sick.
No.
And her son. I think
21 cases.
21 cases. So maybe more needs to be done. And if there is an employee that is sharing this with people saying, oh, we just have to say that to put it on the shelf, that is a problem, because explaining how so many people have gotten sick off this, if it is labeled not for human consumption,
You do wonder, is it like the fireworks? You know how when you go to buy fireworks, or when we did for years, it said, "I'm just scaring away birds." You know, you remember that?
Yes,
How for
yes.
years in Florida, if you wanted to buy fireworks, you signed a thing that said, "Yep, just scaring some birds."
No entertainment over here.
Yeah, not going to be. I know it's the 3rd of July that I'm buying these, but so I don't know if that's the case in this, where people are consuming this raw milk, because I know there's been a push that maybe it has better health benefits for you, but there is a reason all those years ago that we started pasteurizing milk, and because cows are dirty. You know, it's around a cow, it's around poop and other farm animals and everything else. So it's a real problem.
You know what, Matt? I just wonder too, like with all of those people, is that going to be 21 different lawsuits coming up?
Yeah. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
I don't know.
So we have another story tonight
Yes.
that is a very sad story. We had a
Heartbreaker.
lot of people, dozens and dozens of people, basically being forced out of their home. They were staying at a Howard Johnson's. It's an extended stay, so this was their home. The city came in. They did not have a lot of notice at all, and everyone had to go. Now, there's a very valid reason why they had to go. The city said it was just unsafe for people to stay there. But the problem is, where are all of these people going to go at a moment's notice? So News 6's Orange County community correspondent Mike Valente has that story. So let's take a look at that.
An immediate life safety issue. That is what a City of Orlando spokesperson says triggered a notice to vacate here at the Howard Johnson by Wyndham, leaving tenants uncertain of what their lives will look like come Monday.
How are you feeling right now?
Exhausted.
Everybody just found out we had to leave. We're like, what the
A notice from Orlando's Code Enforcement Office. The listed violation reads, life safety system inoperable.
There are some bad conditions, especially in the back.
Black mold everywhere, roaches, rats, palomino bugs.
The roofs are caving in, the ACs are broken.
Last Thursday, Orlando Code Enforcement officers learned that water service from OUC was turned off due to non-payment by the owners. But a city spokesperson says that while on scene last Friday, the fire department determined that the fire alarms in the building were not functioning properly, creating an immediate life safety issue that required a safety official to remain on site.
So there were a lot of issues going on. You heard Mike say the broken AC, no water, no fire alarms. So a lot of issues going on. But again, the problem is where all of these people going to go at a moment's notice. The good thing is the Coalition of the Homeless was actually on the scene there. And we know that Orlando, like most cities in the United States, Orlando has a homeless problem.
Right.
And so where are all of these people going to go? And there are parts of town where you see school buses stop in front of extended stays and pick up kids and drop them off because that's their home.
Yeah.
And so you hate to see kids homeless. You hate to see anybody homeless. But I'm glad to see the Coalition of the Homeless was out there and really trying to help these people get back on their feet and find a place to stay.
Yeah, they are very handy in these situations. I think it's somewhere around 70 families are now looking for a place to stay. And if you're at home and you're wondering, well, you see these people complaining about the roofs caved in and the mold. Why are they living there? They have no other choice. If you stay at if you live at an extended stay hotel, that means your credit probably can't get you a regular apartment. You probably don't have the money for first and last months and move-in fees, all these crazy fees they add these days. So out of desperation, these people move into these extended stay hotels. And they just pay every month, and unfortunately, many times it's just terrible conditions.
You know, we've done a lot of reporting on mobile home parks. We've done a series of stories on them, and basically how the lot rent has increased so dramatically that people are being priced out. And so the question has been, what's going to happen to those people? We're probably going to see the homeless rate increase.
Right.
And so in situations like this, when you're exactly right, people like if you're staying there, you likely cannot afford to live anywhere else. So when the rug is pulled out from under you at a moment's notice and you've got to find some place to go, thank God there are places like the Coalition for the Homeless, and they were out there and trying to get people back in.
Absolutely. So sad story there. Interesting stuff, more statewide news that we were covering today. Alligator Alcatraz is about to get some company. So today, Governor Ron DeSantis announced a new immigration detention center is going to be coming in. This one is going to be operating at the Baker Correctional Institute. This is over near Jacksonville. They expect it to house somewhere between 1,300 and 2,000 people. And there's an airport about 15 minutes away, so they expect to be able to process people and then ship them out. Here's what Governor Ron DeSantis had to say today about that.
It is going to be located here at Baker Correctional Institute. And again, the reason of this is not to just house people indefinitely. We want to process, stage, and then return illegal aliens to their home country. That is the name of the game.
Well, the name of the facility, they're calling it Deportation Depot. Doesn't really have the alligator Alcatraz. I mean, it's like they feel like they have to brand everything now, I guess. The governor says Department of Homeland Security will reimburse Florida for the cost of this, which is probably going to be heavy. We've seen $450 million down in Alligator Alcatraz is projected to be spent there in the year. The jail shut down in 2021, so we'll see what those facilities are like.
Alligator Alcatraz, a judge now has to rule on whether it can stay open or whether it needs to close. So I find it very interesting that the governor and his administration are now opening a second location when you don't even know if the first one can remain open. The governor also took a shot at the judge in that case, saying that, that this is a political judge. Some people would argue this entire situation is political. Yes, we have an immigration problem. We are all aware of that. Yes, something should be done quickly, but it should also be done legally. And it seems like the governor is taking a play out of the president's playbook of just do it, and we'll worry about the legalities later.
Well, I think the reason they chose this next place is because it won't have the legal ramifications of the Everglades. Being in the Everglades, yeah, we'll see. I don't know that this is on as sensitive a level of area that people have always, Floridians have been very protective of the Everglades. It is where so many people get their drinking water. It is a pristine place unlike any other in the world. People really want to protect it. So because of that, you know, the environmental protection aspect has really complicated their plans for Alligator Alcatraz. They've already shut down construction for a couple of weeks here. So yes, this is maybe a side bet that if something happens with that, they will have another place. We'll have to see. Definitely a story we follow all the time here on News 6 at 9. And we've got a lot more coming up for you on the show. Great to have Lewis Bolden here tonight. We're going to talk about skilled labor in Florida. It is such an issue. Try finding somebody to fix something at your house. If you're inept like I am and you need some help, it's a problem these days. We'll talk about how there could be a fix for that, at least in one sector, after the break. Welcome to News 6 tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
Gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Welcome back to hopefully your favorite streaming show, News 6 Tonight. So glad to have you with us. I'm Matt Austin, joined by Lewis Bolden, one of our amazing investigators. He's been in the game for longer than I will say.
I've been here.
He's older than he looks, I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that. It'll be 24 years next month, actually, that I've been at Channel 6.
You beat me. I'm at 14. You got here 10 years before me.
Wow.
That is crazy.
14 is still, that's
yeah,
pretty good.
I know.
That's a
I'm
good
older
run.
than everybody else in here. That's for sure.
both.
Well, one story that we definitely have to keep tabs on in the state of Florida right now is the lack of skilled labor. There's a really big issue. You see it if you ever need an electrician, you need a plumber. So hard to find good skilled laborers. Back in the day, we had tons of them laying around, but there's been this huge push. Everybody has to go to college. They've sort of almost been demeaning a little bit to the skilled labor jobs. And so I got to do a story with the head of the Ironworkers Union here in Central Florida. Very interesting guy. And they're building a brand new facility to try to make it easier, better, safer to train some of these skilled laborers. Let's take a look.
The local 808's new 3 Wise Men apprentice and training facility is dedicated to 3 contractors who have worked with the union since the 1960s.
They gave me a $350,000 check out of their own bank account.
We'll train more than 200 apprentices and hundreds of journeymen and women every year.
How big of an issue is it to try to find a good iron worker these days?
It's a big issue. It's a big issue all over the country, too. It's not just Florida, you know.
In fact, according to Associated Builders and Contractors, there were almost 250,000 construction job openings in July.
How many more iron workers could you give work to?
Unlimited.
Unlimited?
Unlimited. So I grow it in stacks. So I get the people and get the work. Get the people, get the work, you know.
That work includes everything from building rocket towers at Cape Canaveral to roller coasters at Epic Universe.
We have guys well over $100,000.
Really?
Average is 75, 80.
So it's interesting, and if you're wondering, you think of iron workers, maybe you're thinking of ornate iron designs or something like that. Really, they build the structures for many of these things. Like we said, there are space implications, the roller coasters that are held up by all of this steel and iron. These are the people who weld it together and make it safe for you. Now, talking to them, if they work with the union, they make $36 an hour. He says they have great benefits on top of that. I still think, there's still a big disadvantage. We need 250,000 workers, right?
That was a great stat.
It's a huge amount of people.
If you're looking for a job, there you go.
Exactly. I still think, though, that something needs to correct. I think businesses need to pay these people more. $36 an hour is a good chunk of change. It's $75,000 $75,000 a year with good benefits. Okay. That's nice, but this is hard work.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
These people are hanging off the side of buildings. They're welding all day in 100-degree heat. So there are a lot of jobs where you can make that kind of money. So I think if the question for me always is supply and demand. If not enough people are doing it, pay them 100. Pay them 120. What is it? What do you have to make per hour? People will start filling those jobs.
And listen, I think this push that we had for everybody to go to college is going to change because so many people are drowning in student loan debt. I mean, you come out of college in the hole, most people do. And so, he was saying in that piece that people come out of this school and with no debt.
Right.
So you can just get to work.
You're already making good money.
And so that's really something for people to consider. Everybody thinks they want a college degree. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it is expensive. And this is a field where where they actually need people.
Yeah.
So
it's not like in our day. College is so expensive.
Oh, I know.
It was
I know.
reasonable back when we were going to college, but not really the same anymore. What about horses on the beach, Lewis Bolden?
How do you feel in general about animals on the beach? Let's say dogs. How do you feel about dogs on the beach?
I just feel like people don't clean up the poop as it is. That's how I feel. I love seeing a dog running on the beach, the joy on their faces, but I don't want to step in dog poop when I'm on the beach.
So that's what a lot of people are concerned about with having horses on the beach. Now, they're only talking about a 9-mile stretch, but a lot of people in this piece that you're about to see were concerned about the mess that it could leave behind. That is the biggest issue. Molly Reed has this story. Let's take a look.
This is North Shore Park in Ormond by the Sea, and from this point to the Flagler County line is about 9 miles. This stretch is one of a couple that the County Council here in Volusia County is currently looking in the northern part of Volusia to potentially try out horseback riding. Riding would be restricted to non-driving areas of the beach with seasonal restrictions to accommodate turtles. There would also be limited capacity and a required 48-hour booking notice. Owners would be liable for health certificates for the animals and cleaning up after them, which seemed to be the main concern I found from beachgoers today.
I see the concept.
Okay, so people worry it's going to be like a giant litter box.
Exactly.
But I have ridden a horse on the beach one time. It was a
Nice.
terrifying experience with my daughters who were too young to do it as
Okay.
the horses took off. But if we joined meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, it was a scarring activity. If you were out on the beach and you wanted to ride your horses today, man, there was some wild weather out there, my friend.
Yeah, we had shelf clouds all over the place. If you were watching us, and I hope you were, at 5 to 6 o'clock, we got that crazy one coming down the Volusia coastline out of Flagler County. So wild tonight, lightning striking all over the place. The good news is we don't have any lightning out there right now, and much quieter than last night at this time. I want to show you, though, the latest. We've been keeping up, of course, with Tropical Storm Erin. Hurricane hunters, for the first time, are hanging out. Our friends from Lakeland, the NOAA hurricane hunters, they were based out of the Caribbean for the next couple of days because obviously it was way too far out into the water. There it is. They found winds of 70 miles an hour. So we are on the cusp now of the first hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season. That's an 8 o'clock advisory. We don't typically get those unless there are watches and warnings out, but we had the special advisory because of those planes in there. And we're going to bring you that 11 o'clock advisory tonight to see if we do have a hurricane by that point or if there's any kind of change in that track. Florida, guys, still looking good. Still looking good.
That's what we like to hear. And as it speeds up, it's almost better for us, right, Jonathan?
It does,
sort of
yeah. We want
tightens
this thing to get there and take that escape route. We have a nice open path right now, like north of Puerto Rico. Get on out of here. And I was called the goalpost between the East Coast of the U.S. and Bermuda. Football season around the corner. It looks like it's going to be good. But again, never say never. The fat lady hasn't did her thing just yet. But we'll get that better data tonight with the Hurricane Hunters' first flight into that thing, guys.
We look forward to it. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Aaron. Thank you very much, Jonathan Kagas. We're going to take a quick break. Talk about some berries involved in a heist only in Florida. We'll be right back. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart, also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Welcome back to News 6 Tonight. Lewis Bolden joining me here at the desk. I'm Matt Austin. Can you believe 11 people got arrested over berries?
No, I cannot. And you broke this news to me that this is the miracle berry.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard about this at home, but it's called the Florida saw palmetto berry. Okay, they are harvested for medicinal purposes, and everything I could piece together online is that these things are used for dudes. Okay. Prostate health?
Yeah.
Check. Male pattern baldness? Check. Sexual issues? Check. So these, apparently they think it has this man healing effect for all of these various and sundry issues. And there was a big arrest of 11 people, 9 of which were undocumented workers, were here. And check it out. These are all the people who were taken in. And it was about 6,000 pounds of berries, which is worth $8,000, Lewis. This was in Martin County, by the way.
That was my next question. What was it worth? $8,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was interesting, especially as I looked into the story a little more from just the cursory glance. So, as I said, 9 of those suspects are now on ICE detainers. And I found an article The Guardian wrote about these berries.
Okay.
And it turns out August to September is when you harvest these things.
Okay.
August to September is also a time on Florida farms where there's not really a lot of work to do. There's not a lot of harvesting going on. So a lot of these undocumented workers will head over and try to find some unpermitted berries, because they're really all over the place is the crazy thing. You know, it's like a palm, those little short palmetto things.
What are they charged with? Just theft?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it is. No, actually, it's got this palmetto berry thing has its own. You can get 5 years.
Oh, wow.
For stealing these without a permit. I would love to talk about it some more, but that's all the time we have. Have a great night.